Hey friends, Happy New Year! Yes, I'm 5 days late. That's how I roll. I'm LlamaMamaKayla, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm excited that I'm having a good moment today and can make a video. And I want to say Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope everyone's New Year has started off well for them, and that I just wish you all a very blessed New Year or year for 2022. Time is just rolling by. So the hat I'm wearing today, I know I'll get some questions about that. This is a pattern by Little John Yarns on YouTube, and she has a very easy to follow tutorial. It's a granny square slouchy hat, and I just kind of do it up like this to make it kind of look a little bit of a beret. And so I've made myself several hats of this. I really enjoy the pattern, and so I've made it many times in different colors and such. I have a white one that I wear a lot, and this blue one can go with blacks and grays and just anything that's kind of bland and needs a pop of color. So anyway, I will say this about that tutorial real quick. You have to watch the video closely because there is one part where it just skips a row and you're just like, oh, wait a minute. But if you pause her video and count her rows, you'll see that she skipped recording a row. And, it could have happened in editing. It just got left off. That happens. So you don't want to pay attention to that. Also, when I made the hat, it was huge, and so I had to shrink it down to fit my head because it was really big. I'm talking about the band. After you make the hat, then you have to do try it on your head and see how it fits. And then whenever you start to do the row of single crochets around it, you may need to decrease, a few times or a lot of times. So anyway, I know I'll get a lot of questions about the hat, so I just want to throw that in there right off the bat. So anyway, yeah, it's 2022, and so I wanted to come on and say that I don't have any goals for 2022. My goal is to live. I spent 2021 just trying to survive. If you haven't been with me and don't know, I had multiple surgeries trying to get a feeding tube situated and fixed and everything in early 2021. I was real sick, ended up septic, and very sick. I was in the hospital for a good while, then sent to a nursing home and hated it, and I just decided one day I'm leaving, and so I left. The doctor did sign me out, but he didn't want to. He did it against his will. I came home, realized it was way too early. I shouldn't have left, but I could not stay there not one more day. So I had just a very long recovery. And that's finally healed, and I still have a few issues every now and then with it, but for the most part, it's good. And so I just had a lot of sickness in 2021, and that's just part of my life. I have to accept new limitations and adjust my life to, oh, this is the new me. And so today, this is the new me. So I'm just doing the best I can, whatever that is. Some days I don't get a thing done. And that's okay because I survived that day. And that's just the way I'm looking at life. I survive, and some days that's the best I can do. But, I don't really have any goals. I'm not going to list out, this is what I'm going to do this year, because I have no idea what I'm doing this year. I am flying by the seat of my pants, and that's the way it's going to go. I know I'm going to do crocheting because I love to crochet. I enjoy crocheting. I have been crocheting all through the month of December. I haven't been showing any crochet projects I will start to show those, but I was been crocheting a lot of little things and just having fun, crocheting things that make me happy. And that's my goal now. I mean, I raised my family, I lived for my kids and husband. Um, I homeschooled my kids all the way through for 23 years, and my life revolved around them. No regrets whatsoever. My kids are wonderful. I'm so glad that I devoted my life to my kids. And, they got everything. I've done everything I could possibly for them. They, my husband and I, like I said, we homeschooled them all the way through. They never went to public school. They graduated homeschool. They both went on to college. They're both successful men in society. They're productive citizens of the world. So I did my job. My husband, works long hours, so I'm home by myself all the time. And so now I am living life for myself. And I do not feel guilty about that, not one bit. Because my kids are grown and happy, and, like I said, they're successful young men. They're 22 and 30. And my husband, he has a job that he loves. He actually has two jobs now that he loves. And so he, he has a life outside of the home. I don't have life outside of the home, really. So I'm just living life to make myself happy. I'm doing what makes me happy now, whether anybody else likes it or not. I mean, not really likes it or not. I don't mean that because I'm not that kind of person. But I mean, which anybody understands the things that make me happy or not. So um, I have a doll collection, and sometimes I show my dolls. Um, and then I have like calico critters and little woodsy critters, and I like to pose them and set up little scenes, take pictures of them, and make up little stories. So that just brings me some joy doing those two things. The same thing with my dolls. I'll set them up and take some photos and just make up this, story about them, or whatever. It's something to do. I've always been a very creative person. I love to create. I used to paint, and even after I did lose, 5 fingers, I continued to paint until I could no longer do like fine lines. My hand was just too shaky here, like it doesn't shake like this all the time, but when I'm holding a paintbrush and trying to focus on doing this, fine line or tiny things, my hand's just shaking. I can't do it, and I get frustrated. And so I can't remember the last thing I painted, but I remember telling my son, this is going to be the last thing I paint. And so it has been. I mean, sometimes I don't paint landscapes and portraits and things like that anymore. I might just paint a little simple something. Actually, my paints got packed up. I just recently bought some new paints because I needed some paint to paint some things. But I'm not painting art pieces anymore like I used to. So I needed something to be able to use my creativity and my imagination and stuff like that, because I'm just the type of person that I've got to do that. I've got to let out my imagination and creativity. And so I found, so I got into the dolls during the pandemic. I got into collecting dolls, which I've always collected dolls. I have different types of dolls that I've never even shared on Instagram or YouTube. I have some dolls in my room that I've never shared with anyone. And so I've always collected different types of dolls. And then I started collecting like bigger baby doll types, kind of realistic looking dolls. And so I enjoy dressing them up for different holidays and stuff like that. and taking pictures of them, or like making up little stories or whatever. And they all have names and personalities and things, but actually my dolls got to be kind of, the bigger ones are kind of too heavy for me, and it just wears me out to even dress a doll. Like, I can only dress like one doll a day because it wears me out. Some days I just cannot hold up to do that. And so I still love my dolls. I love looking at them. I have them dressed and sitting around, and that brings me joy. I just like to look at them, and it brings me joy. But then I got into the little calico critters, and they're much easier for me to handle and set up a little scenery and stuff like that. And so I'm enjoying those right now, along with my dolls and crocheting. And my dog Phoebe, she's on the bench, like behind the camera. There's a bench there, and her puppy bed is there, and she's rolling around in it, chewing on a toy. She loves toys. She is toy crazy, and she's rolling around in her bed, playing with her toy. She's actually holding her toy in her hand and doing her mouth on it and stuff. And when I said her name, she stopped and looked at me. She is my little Chihuahua. She is very, very spoiled. She thinks she is the boss of the house, and she is. She really is. My son, Elijah, he's 22. He still lives at home. He has 3 dogs, and Phoebe is their boss, which they don't stay in the parlor with me and Phoebe. They stay in either the kitchen, the den, or Elijah's room. And they come through the parlor. Phoebe is all about telling them she's the boss. And here she is now. So let me just introduce you to Phoebe. Phoebe, turn around and say hello. This is Phoebe. She is so spoiled. Tell them, say, I'm spoiled, spoiled, spoiled. And so she just loves me to death. And so she is, how old are you, Phoebe? How old are you? About 3 years old? I think the end of January she will be 3 years old. And I may have to check that. I don't think she'll be 4. She loves this, like getting into my hair and just rubbing her head. And so my husband, Big Daddy, he has a beard, and she loves getting up on him and rubbing her head in that beard. And when he's asleep at night, she gets over there and rubs her head all in his beard. Sometimes he wakes up and sometimes he don't. And she loves it when he don't wake up, because she just lays there and does it and does it. Oh, Phoebes. Okay, I'm going to let you down. Go eat your food. So, anyway, I was just going to, tell you a little bit about myself in case you're new here or whatever. Like I said, my husband's Big Daddy, and sometimes he joins me in on videos. And not that often. It's every now and then. We talk about doing more videos together, but then life happens. So when he's in the mood to do a video, I'm not. And when I'm in the mood to do a video, he's not. So sometimes we get on the same page and we do a video together. So, like I said, I don't have any real goals for 2022 except to live, enjoy life, and have fun. I want to have fun. I will have crochet videos because I do crochet, and I'll probably have some doll videos, maybe some calico critter videos. I don't know. I hadn't really done much of the video of them. I do some little video clips with a song and put on Instagram, but you can't really put that on YouTube because of the music. They don't allow that music, and so I have lots and lots of projects that I need to pick up and work on. Lots of unfinished projects. You can see my desk here is like really messy. I have all this yarn out because I've been making dresses for calico critters. I made like a ton of dresses, like I don't know why, but I just made a ton of dresses with sparkly yarn. And so I need to work on Big Daddy's duck. Way back when, maybe in October, but I had plans in October. He came home, brought this yarn, said he wanted to make me a duck, wanted me to make him a duck, and I had a lot of things I was doing at the time, so I didn't just like jump on that duck. But I have done the pieces to the duck, except the feet. I've not done the feet, or maybe the wings. I haven't done the wings and the feet, but I've made the main body parts, and I've got them all to the part where I just need to stuff them and close it off, and then put them together and make the feet and the wings. So I need to do that and make a video of giving that to him. He has not seen the pieces because I work on it when he's not here. The problem with that is I don't get my Crojo until late evening when he is at home. But I try to work on it some when he's not here or when he's gone to bed. I'll pull that out and work on it some. So yeah, I have lots of unfinished projects that I need to pull out and work on. And that's probably what I'll do. I don't know. I'll be starting a lot of new projects too because that's who I am. Kayla started a new project Miller. So yeah, I don't know. Just, that's life, I guess. Um, if I'm working on a project and I see another project pop up and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I just put that to the side and start up a new project. And then I'll go back to the other project eventually. But anyway, yeah, that's about all, I guess. I just wanted to kind of reintroduce myself because I have lots of new subscribers who probably don't have a clue who I am and probably don't even know, like what's going on here. I don't either, so we're all in the same boat. I don't know what's going on. I never do from day to day. Really, my life just revolves around however I feel when I wake up that day. And that's it. I don't know what I'm doing from day to day. And I'm not going to make plans for that because people expect you to do it if you if you make a plan. And I don't want no expectations for me. I don't want any kind of commitment. I just want to, be. Every year for the year, I always pick a word for the year to focus on. Like that's my word of the year. I've done that for many, many years, probably 20 years, I don't know. I've just done that for a very long time. And over the years, I've had like all types of words, whatever I felt like I needed to focus on for that year. Last year, my words was one day at a time. And that's exactly the way my year went. One day at a time. It was touch and go. This year, my word of the year that I have chosen for myself is to live. Live. I want to live. And so that's what I'm focusing on. Just living. Whatever that looks like, however that turns out, that's what I'm doing. Like I said, some days my health is I'm trying to think of a word that's not my health is like has declined so much over the past few years that I don't even know who I am anymore. If you can identify with that, I'm so sorry. But all we can do is just adjust and move on the best that we can. So anyway, what I was trying to say is I lost my train of thought there. I have such health issues that I have no idea what I'm doing from day to day, and that ain't what I was trying to say. But just hang with me because I will get back there. Some days I wake up and all I can do is use the restroom and get back in the bed. And so I've had some days like that this week. It was like after 3 o'clock before I got out of the bed one day, and that's just the way it is. I just don't know what day to day looks like for me. I hate to get on here and record when I'm having such bad days because I hate to like have this depressing down video. I don't want to be that. I want to be my happy self and have fun and cheer you up and give you something, fun and entertaining to watch. Not me sitting there crying because I'm having such a horrible day. So I don't get on in video when I'm having bad days. I do want to video more, and I want to kind of vlog type videos maybe. I've thought about that, but then some days I think I want to do that, but then I feel too bad to even plug the light up and get a camera, or and mash the button to record. I feel too bad to even mash that button. But I lost my train of thought of what I was trying to say, and so I don't think I'm circling back to that because I can't remember what I was saying, except that you know let me just show you a little bit about me. I have a lot of autoimmune diseases that are not fun to live with. I have lupus. I have asthma, really bad asthma. And I have lupus. I have Raynaud's, and I have lost 5 fingers due to Raynaud's. I have Sjogren's syndrome, and that makes you, feel like as if lupus doesn't make you feel bad enough. Sjogren's syndrome makes you feel really bad, and also causes you to have super dry mouth, dry eyes. Therefore, my eyes are so dry that my eyes are rigid. Like, I don't know, the eye doctor says they're just rigid. They're so dry, and I can't see. I did take glasses off for this video because I'm using a ring light, and the glare was just all in the glasses, and it looked kind of freaky. So I took the glasses off, so I can't even see this video. It looks super blurry. I hope it's not blurry. But anyway, and I have scleroderma, which affects my skin really bad. I have bad skin issues from the scleroderma. And also, the scleroderma hardened my esophagus over years' time. Like, it didn't just happen overnight. It gradually got worse, and it hardened my esophagus. I got my esophagus stretched many times. And it would help just a little bit for a short while or whatever, and then it would, it'd be back to the same problem. I could not swallow food. My food would go down so far, and it would just be so painful, and then I would end up throwing up. Till finally it got to the point where I could not even drink water at times. And so they were doing all these tests, and it just wasn't showing a stricture in there. Like, it wasn't showing, like, why can't she swallow? I remember I was in the hospital because I couldn't even swallow water. And I was in the hospital, and I was seeing this team of doctors, and a person who works at the hospital that's a family friend, she had came by and talked to me, and I said, I really want to see my doctor because he works at the hospital. I said, but I don't know how to get a message to him. And so when she left out, she actually saw him in the hallway because she's all over that hospital. And so she said, hey, Kayla's in room whatever, and she really wants to see you. So he came by and said, hey, what's going on? And so I told him, they've done all these tests, and it's not showing why I can't swallow, like, why can't I swallow? And he said, I don't know, there's got to be a reason. And so they ended up sending me to another town that's like 2.5 hours away to do a motility test to see, like, as I swallow, what's happening. And they was able to tell that my esophagus did not work. Like, your esophagus, everybody's esophagus, works like when you're eating or drinking, it contracts and squeezes in there, and that's what helps your food go down. My esophagus is like a PVC pipe, and it is just a straight pipe, and it's narrowed in there also. And so when I try to eat food, they just get stuck because my esophagus doesn't push them down. and then throwing up, and it's just crazy. So that's why I had to get a feeding tube. And so I have this feeding tube that is not my friend. I'm glad I have it, but it was a very, very hard go. Actually, I just had a doctor visit with my doctor last week, and so he said, he asked, how's that feeding tube going? I said, well, it's going okay now. And he said, overall, what do you think about the feeding tube? I said, well, I guess today I'm glad I have it, but it was a hard road to get here. And he said, yes, it was. Whenever I first was going to get the feeding tube, and I had done all those tests and everything, I went back to the surgery team, and they said, your esophagus doesn't work. It's like a PVC pipe. And so I was like, what? And so then maybe like the next week or something, I had an appointment with my regular doctor, and I went to him, and he was like, your esophagus doesn't work. He said, okay, this is your options. He said, you can either get a feeding tube, or we can pull up your small intestine, remove your esophagus, pull up your small intestine. He said, but again, that doesn't contract like an esophagus does, but it might be easier to get some food down because it won't be hardened. He said, but that is a super hard surgery with a super long recovery, and so I don't recommend it for you because you have all these other health issues going on. So your best bet would be get a feeding tube. So I agreed immediately because I was familiar with a feeding tube because my oldest son Elijah had a feeding tube for 16 years for eosinophilic gastroenteritis. And so I was familiar with a feeding tube and everything. He did not ever have no problems with a feeding tube. And so, my doctor said, it'll be easy peasy, one night in the hospital, you'll go home and you're fine. That did not happen for me. It was not easy peasy. It was not one night in the hospital. It was more like 3 or 4 different times in the hospital. And the last time I was there for a very long time because I had become septic, as I mentioned before, and then went to the nursing home. But, so it was not easy peasy. And I did tell him that. I said, he was asking, what do you think about the feeding tube? How is it? And I said, well, overall, I'm glad I did it. It was a long road to get here, and it was not easy peasy like you said. And he smiled real big. So, then, recently I've been diagnosed with this, and I don't know if I'm saying this right, trigeminal neuralgia. No, not neuralgia. Trigeminal neuralgia? I don't know. TN is what the letters stand for it. But anyway, what that is, this side of my face. And it is so painful. Like, oh my God, that's so painful. And like even right now, half my face, like this side of my lips and my chin and going up my face here is numb and tingly and feels like electricity going through it. But I don't have that unbearable pain right now. That's why I'm able to talk and smile and, I'm happy. When that pain strikes up, oh my goodness, that is the most horrible, horrific pain you can imagine. And I guess that it'll just come and go. And I hope there's like long stretches between that. My doctor did up my medication that's supposed to kind of help control that. And so I can tell that it's gotten better since we upped that medication. Because I was taking, he doubled it. Well, I can't remember exactly, but he doubled the morning dose and the night dose. And so I can tell I've gotten relief from that. It every now and then, like even the ceiling fan blowing on my face, when I feel that on there, it will flare up real fast, and it's unbearable. That's all I can say. It's unbearable. But my lips and chin and a little bit of my face here, like, I'm not touching my face, but this little area here is numb, but it's tingly and has electricity just like like static electricity is just like running through it and everything, and that's annoying. That is annoying as all get out, especially when you're trying to sleep or anything like that. So I'm just learning to live with it. I know that when it flares up, I need to just chill, make sure nothing's no fan or nothing's aggravating it. My doctor did give me a syringe of lidocaine, like straight lidocaine, and so I put that on in my mouth, outside my mouth, just like all over my face, really much. And so that does help. At times, it hurts for my lips to even touch my teeth. So I can put lidocaine inside my lips, and that will help some too. So anyway, I just have like a boatload of things going on, and each time something comes up, I just adjust my life